line of Beal City.
So my question for you would be, is Gavin Seelan a better quarterback if he can set his feet on the throw, or would that make him worse? Because he seems to make all of his throws on the run.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't have any idea because I don't ever get to see him get to throw from the pocket. So
pocket, smock it.
For those of you listening to McBain football, a pocket is when the offensive line creates space to allow the quarterback to stay in the middle of the field. Anyway, never happens. Logan Vandenbos, the handoff. Vandenbos plowing forward as Sam Fox holding on for dear life in front of him. Kind of like holding on to the bumper of a Mack truck.
Yeah.
But hangs on long enough to bring him down, but not before Vandenbos picks up a chunk of yards, move it up to the 31-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6 now for the Ramblers. Two receivers split again. No huddle offense for McBain as they go quickly. Handoff is to Logan Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh on the left side with room to run. Room blocking for him, and he's going to be up across the 20, 15, and inside the 10-yard line, I believe. And this may be a 1st and goal situation for the Ramblers. We'll see where the headlinesman has this marked.
Well, I'll tell you what, on that run right there, Ethan Barton, big shout out. He was about 12 yards down the field blocking that cornerback. And he did a great job sealing him off. And when Logan came close to him, Barton gave one little last push, and then he couldn't get his feet gathered up underneath him. And Rodenbaugh was able to gain an extra 10 yards to that one block.
It is 1st and goal right on the 10-yard line with 22 seconds remaining here in the first as the Ramblers trying to get themselves situated with this offensive package. Camphouse now will line up. Not even sure what that position is called. Handoff is to Vandenbos. Vandenbos bouncing around the outside to the left side. Vandenbos over the 5 is going to get brought down at around the 3. And as the first quarter comes to an end, we'll switch sides, and the Ramblers will be looking at 2nd and goal from the 3-yard line, and then looking to increase their 8-0 lead. 1 quarter in the books here at Beal City High School. We'll take a break, 30 seconds, and be back. 2nd quarter coming up right after this.
High Flow Performance is where you need to go to give your ride that sweet sound. Owner and founder Ryan Westorp uses the best materials and manufactures High Flow's own chamber exhaust. Using CC bending technology in their high-end precision welding shop, they create the highest quality exhaust products on the market today. With superior design and engineering, they'll create that classic muscle car sound and bring new life to your vehicle. Count on High Flow Performance. Follow them on Facebook for more details.
And welcome back to Beal City High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. 8-0, the McBain Ramblers with the lead after 1 quarter of play. And they're looking at a 2nd and goal from the Aggie 3-yard line. And right now, it's been a tale of 2 things, Hawkeye. The running backs of the Ramblers and the defense of McBain as they force 2 turnovers on 2 Beal City possessions.
Yeah, that's something you do not typically see is the turnovers for the Aggies, and that's really helped McBain have a short field each time.
I want to thank Northern Truck Service, our pregame show sponsor for this one. We've got a lot to talk about as far as sponsors go. We'll be mentioning them throughout this broadcast. Our sincere thanks to each and every one of them for allowing us to bring this to you. But Northern Truck Service, our pregame sponsor.
McBain looking to punch it in once again.
Second quarter about to get underway. Here's the Ramblers now going right to left, heading to the north end of the field. As they come out with 2 receivers to the right, Ethan Barton, the lone receiver to the left, this time with 2 backs behind Gavin Seelan. Seelan wanting to hand it off up the middle. This is Vandenbos, and Vandenbos is in as the head linesman calling him in. Touchdown, McBain. The opposite linesman never giving the indication, but, well, the other guy's in charge. So Vandenbos with his second 3-yard touchdown run of the night.
That reminds me that who's the up back for, was it Rivera for Barry Sanders, who would have steal all of his touchdowns from 3 yards they're in?
Yeah. Oh, and a 2-point conversion. The handoff is fumbled. And so McBain, wanting to keep things very nice and neat, will fail, and we are at 14-0, which is what you would expect if you go 50% on your 2-point conversion, which is all you want.
Yeah, that's, well.
It's all right. You want more.
Well, you want 100%.
You want 100%, absolutely. Hey, this game brought to you in part by Kelly's Pizza and Grill, Burkholder Family Funeral Home, McNally's Party Store, Amp Wireless, Pluger Mechanical, and High Flow Performance. Our thanks to each and every one of our sponsors for their support of tonight's broadcast. I want to also let you know if you're leaving our listening area and you want to listen to us online, you can do so. Head on over to www.1079cdy.com. Click on the game logo on the right. I think we're using YouTube these days, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that the
think
switch
that's
was
what
made.
We're still doing. Yes, I believe that switch was made. Zach back in the studio, I'm sure, on the next break will tell me if I'm wrong. Live streaming of McBain Rambler football brought to you by McLean Transmissions. For anything transmission related and for quality used cars, head on over to McLean Transmissions on LaChance Road between Cadillac and Lake City. Call 779-1394. That's 779-1394.
So, it's kind of, some people thought it was a sad day today because the ice cream parlor in McBain closed for the season.
What?
But don't worry. Who would have you covered? No other than Kevin Kelly with his 99-cent cones and hard-packed ice cream. Even though the ice cream place is closed, Kelly's will still take care of your sweet tooth and your need for creamy goodness.
Kickoff is picked up by Bubba Ames off the turf. Dangerously. Now we got a late flag coming in.
Is that going to be a face mask or is that going to be a horse collar?
I did not see, but apparently that's the only way they can bring Bubba Ames to the turf is by grabbing his horse collar or face mask, because he had a head of steam and then suddenly went down in a heap. So that makes sense. Personal foul. It is a face mask. Well, you never want to see that because you don't want to see a kid injured, but from a sheer football standpoint, Hawkeye, that might have been 6 if they don't do that, because Ames went through the bulk of the Rambler defense after scooping that ball up. It landed, was touched by an Aggie who fell to the turf. Ames picked it up and took off and looked for all the world like he was going to be gone before going down. So Beal City now at the McBain 41. With 11:50 to go here as we just get the second quarter underway. Chillman will toss it out to the right side, and putting his head down and stumbling forward is that Ben Matthews? Was that 30? It was.
Ben Matthews,
the sophomore,
ran into a rodent ball sandwich as both Logan and Daniel put the shoulder into him to lay him out.
Ball marked at the 30, we'll call it the 38, 4-yard gain. It's going to be second and about 6. 14-0 McBain, 11:15 to go here in the second quarter as they send one receiver to the near side. That is Colby Berryhill for the Aggies, going left to right. Chillman under center. Chillman will hand it off to Matthews straight up the middle, and Matthews trying to spin away from the defense will get stopped after crossing the 35-yard line, give him the 34. So it's another 4-yard gain, and it's going to bring up third and a couple now for Beal City.
This is something that the McBain defensive line is not used to, but the Aggies are controlling the line of scrimmage on those last 2 plays. McBain has really been able to control the line of scrimmage for the last 2 games, and now Beal City is starting to enforce their will. So, Tick, what's the tack going to be?
Matthews in the backfield along with Sam Fox. Chillman under center. They got Berryhill to the far side. And we got a whistle and a flag before the snap. And it's a false start on the Aggies. So that's going to cost them 5, and it's going to bring up third and a little longer now as they will go back to the 39-yard line. One of those reasons, Hawkeye, the Aggies are one of those teams, and Ishbibin's the other one that always comes to mind for me, that tend to be undersized on the line, but they are so fundamentally solid. They're so good at blocking and getting themselves into the right position that even against a superior sized line, they tend to create the holes they want to create because they put you in the position they want you to be in.
Technique over brawn.
Absolutely. One receiver either way for Chillman, and he's got the same 2 in the backfield, Fox and Matthews. Chillman will keep it himself, and he is going to get wrapped up in the backfield as Owen Bonico lowering the boom on Logan Chillman all the way back near the original line of scrimmage, just outside the 40, call it the 41. It's going to bring up 4th And a long 9 now for Beal City with 9:38 to go, and you got to assume they're going to go for it here.
Yeah, but what a rush by Bonico there. And the thing is, if he tried to cut back, he had Bam Bam on the other side waiting for him, but Bonico got behind the line push, and he just sat there waiting for the quarterback.
I want to point out, Hawkeye, that Gavin Seelan is out there on defense, so clearly wherever he went was not injury related.
No, and he's playing defensive end now.
Yes. Chillman sends a man in motion. Handoff is to the sweeping Colby Berryhill. Berryhill returning, and now Berryhill somehow getting through a host of white jerseys will dive forward to the 30-yard line, and he's going to have an improbable Aggie first down. What a run by Berryhill.
Yeah, McGillis just saved McBain a touchdown on that one. We thought we had him for a loss, and all of a sudden he's gone. And if it wasn't for McGillis, we would have a score for the Aggies.
And the crazy thing, Hawkeye, from our perception, our angle here, we're right at midfield. There's just a mass of blue and white jerseys that Berryhill tried to turn and move upfield, and all of a sudden it was like he was shot out of a cannon. He came out of that mass with a head of steam that looked like he was gone, and like you say, the tackle, a touchdown-saving tackle without question.
Once again, the offensive player knows where he's going to go.
Yep. And the handoff on the far side, I believe this is Fox. Not much room for him. And he is dropped. We have not mentioned Bubba Ames, although I don't see him on the sideline. So, oh no, there he is. He's on the bench. Bubba Ames, that face mask, I don't know if he went down awkwardly or what, but he's being looked at by the trainer on the bench right now. So Bubba Ames, who's running so effectively early on the sideline for this injury-riddled Aggie team, that is not something they can afford as we approach the 8-minute mark here in the second quarter. 2nd and 9 after that run for Beal City from the 29-yard line of McBain. 2 backs for Chillman. Chillman will give it to Fox, and Fox over the 30-yard line, over the 25-yard line. And Sam Fox will take it to the 24, 5-yard pickup. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5 with 7.5 to go here in the second.
Yeah, it looks like on that one they decided to get him behind Seth Schaefer's. They folded Schaefer from the end position and kind of pulled him through the middle to open up a wedge there. And that was why they got such a big gain.
No doubt 2-down territory again here for Beal City. 3rd and a long 4, we'll call it, from just inside the 25. Full house backfield for the Aggies. Chillman will give it to Berryhill, and Berryhill is piled up and stopped after a yard or 2. Looks like they're going to give him the 23. As they tried to give Berryhill some big bodies to hide behind on that left side, but good penetration from the Rambler defense.
Well, Ryan Pace likes it and takes it a pride of honor anytime that the PA announcer can't announce a single number because there's too many to pick from.
It's a great point.
And making it 4th and 3.
4th and a long 3 now.
By Beal City.
Need to get to the 20-yard line. Full house backfield. Look for the hard count. Chillman gives it to Berryhill. Berryhill over the left side, runs into some defenders, trying to turn the legs. This is going to be close. We've got a bad angle.
I think he has it.
Needs to get to the 20. The near line judge is not there.
Maloney standing right behind the yard marker trying to get his own read on it. They gave it to him.
The referee is going to give it to him, and Maloney wants him to measure that maybe, and it looks like they are going to measure it. The nose of that ball, Hawkeye, is not on the 20, and the original stick is on the 30s. This is going to be very close. And so they are going to come out now. The referee calling for the sticks. And we will see. Boy, from this angle, it does not look like he has it. Put down the stake. Stretch out the chain. And they are short. Turnover on downs. The Rambler defense stiffens at the right moment. And McBain will take over just outside their own 20-yard line with a 14-0 lead and 6:06 to go here in the second quarter.
And the first nomination for the Judy K. Gildy Picture Perfect Play of the game is Maloney crying for that measurement because they did give him the first down, and they had to get the measurement, and then they decided that was not a first down, and it was a turnover on downs.
Now, I heard elsewhere in the press box that they may have actually moved the ball, decided the spot was in the wrong spot, because that thing was nowhere close initially. I'm not sure the referee would have given it to him based on that. So if they did move it, that makes more sense. Seelan will hand it off up the middle. I think this is Rodenbaugh. I see Vandenbosch, so I assume it's Rodenbaugh.
Auden Ealing.
Nope, Auden Ealing coming in and taking the handoff. Ealing to the 25-yard line, so Ealing moving the pile for about a 4-yard gain. Call it 2nd and 6 now. Clock continues to tick. Ramblers continuing this no-huddle look. Ethan Barton, your lone receiver to the near side, 2 to the far side, 2 backs behind Seelan. Seelan's going to keep it himself. And Gavin Seelan over the 25, up to about the 28-yard line. A few more yards, and it's going to bring up 3rd and short now for McBain. A little bit of a change, Hawkeye. Instead of going with the 4-receiver, 1-back look, they've got 2 in the backfield. Are they trying to create some confusion maybe defensively?
Well, I don't know about the confusion or the fact that, you have 6 weeks of game film on them. You have to have another wrinkle in your offense each week, especially as you go on.
Seelan, high snap, will try to follow his blocker, and Seelan is tripped up right away. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage, and so McBain now, Hawkeye, in
punt formation.
First time they'll have to actually think about it at their own 28. It looks like we're going to see Noah Hendrickson. And the first punt of the game for either team. 14-0, McBain with the lead, 4:40 and ticking to go here in the second quarter.
Now, don't forget, Justin Camphouse is your up man. He's already been on one trick play where he did a halfback pass.
Good snap, and Hendrickson gets off a beauty. This is going to be fielded inside the 40-yard line, and then tripping, probably a good idea, as Brendan Rose was coming down and was about to lay somebody out.
Yeah, Trey Small just turtled.
Well, Trey would tell you he slipped.
Okay, he just turtled.
I turtled and I was standing up here, so I don't blame him at all. We've got some 2 flags on the field back at the original, just outside the line of scrimmage. Actually, 2 flags, far side and in the middle of the field. Let's see what the call is here. The Ramblers are going back, and it's a false start on McBain. So it's a hold actually on Beal City. So we have offsetting penalties, which means we're going to get another look at a Noah Hendrickson punt.
Bring it to 4th and 2 again.
So the offsetting penalties means the Ramblers will need to punt one more time, and Trey Small will get another chance on a run back. Hendrickson last time with a beauty high punt. Handled a difficult snap. This one's another good snap, and he'll get off another gorgeous punt. This is going to be fielded in the same spot. Fair catch called for this time by Small. And the Ramblers will actually net 2 yards as they'll start at the 38.
Yeah, once again, great coverage there. Garrett Verberkmos bearing down on him, and really he had no other option on that great punt by Noah, as he did put it way up into the upper atmosphere to bring down even more rain.
Well, and you can see Small just sliding all over the place, trying to get underneath that to make the catch. That's a tough, fair catch. Nice job corralling that. Tough situation. 4:15 to go here in the second quarter. Ramblers with a 14-0 lead here on 107.9 CDY. Jay Simon, Gary Hawkeye Vanna with you. Noah Hendrickson. Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio as the Aggies come out in the shotgun with 4 receivers. Trips to the left for Chillman, single back in the backfield. Chillman sprinting to his left, looking to get some blocking, and he's going to be grabbed by the jersey and slung around. Ball is on the turf. And a number of bodies diving in after it, and I think the Aggies got it back. They did. It'll be second down. Boy, Chillman trying to use his tailback as a blocker on that left side, and I didn't see who it was, Hawkeye, who got in, but just grabbed him. Was it Bonico? Got him by the jersey and just slung him to the ground. The ball came flying out.
That was like half tackle, half WWE move as he just threw him.
Looked like he was sending him to the ropes.
And he dislodged the ball from him.
That was centrifugal force. That was not Owen Bonico.
Well, something had to put the potential energy into kinetic energy.
Nice. Full house backfield for the Aggies. 3:20 to go here in the second quarter. Beal City going left to right. Chillman with a pitch. Matthews avoids one tackler and then gets back up near the 40-yard line. Is going to gain a few. That was actually Verberkmos, who had an early opportunity at him coming up from his cornerback, safety position, really.
Well, they
surprised. Did they blitz him?
Well, when they moved the back into the traditional wishbone formation, the Ramblers are moving their defense to a 5-man front. But when they go back into the spread, you'll see them only have a 3-man front.
Is what I'm referring to as a full house the wishbone?
You can call it, yeah, either one.
So 3 backs in a line. This time they come out with 2 backs, and they send Berryhill all alone to the far side. Colby Berryhill has been a handful when he's gotten his hands on the ball.
Ball on the ground.
Fumbles the snap, and Chillman will fall on it, but he will lose a yard, and it'll bring up 4th down now for Beal City with 2:20 and ticking to go here in the first half.
You know, I'm telling you, under these conditions, the punt is going to be someone's going to make a mistake on the punt. I don't know if the punter's going to make a mistake, wet ball, slipping your foot, or the receiver trying to catch it.
Well, I'll tell you right now, if you're Garrett Verberkmos, do you even try to field this thing if it's got enough height?
Only if it's clean. Well, you don't want to roll forever either.
Chillman will be the punter, and he will send a low one that's going to take a couple bounces. Verberkmos off his foot, and it's going to be recovered by the Aggies. That's exactly what you don't want. There is no reason whatsoever, Hawkeye, to try and field that ball. That's a mental error there by Garrett. He wants to make a play. He thinks he's going to get a good bounce off that second hop, and it just never came up. Hits him in the foot and bounces, in the worst case scenario, bounces 5 yards away from him. He couldn't even recover it for himself.
And he lost his footing.
Exactly. And the Aggies
I hate to say, I told you so.
Well, you jinxed him right into it. Well done. No? No?
I'm just afraid of I think every one of these have a potential of something big happening.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you at all. So the Aggies will take over with 1:45 to go at the McBain 26-yard line following the fumble.
And the thing is, the Aggies traditionally have a kicker.
Berryhill in motion. Handoff is to Fox. 30 is Matthews, 32 is Fox, and Fox will take it up to about the 22-yard line. The Aggies do still have all 3 timeouts, if I'm not mistaken. Nobody's called one in this game.
Yeah, that's one of those plays where he was tackled at the, what would you say that is, the 24-yard line, hydroplane to the 19?
4-yard gain. They're going to give him the 22. It'll be 2nd and 6 with 1:13 to go as the Aggies content to let the clock continue to tick. No pressure with 3 timeouts. Chillman hands it off. Berryhill, room to run. Actually, that's Small. Trey Small spinning away from a defender is over the 20, inside the 15, and he is down. It's the Aggies begging for a timeout. I love coaches when they want a timeout and the way they act when they want the timeout. Yep. One of the least, probably one of the underrated moments in football is the football head coach calling for a timeout.
Yeah, you know, that would be kind of interesting if you watch
a whole slew of video of
that's
clips.
Right.
A whole slew.
The highlight shows.
Somebody text us and send us a link. I'm sure there's something on YouTube of high school football coaches calling for a timeout. It is a first down at the 14-yard line for Beal City. 1:01 to go here in the first half. We'll keep it right here. Want to remind you again that if you are leaving our listening area and you want to pick us up online, you can do so. Head over to 107.9Wcdy.com. Click the game logo on the right-hand side. You can listen to us through YouTube. You can go to YouTube. You can search for CDY Sports. We want to thank Crandall Precision, McBain Family Pharmacy, Falmouth Co-op, and LC Materials for their support of tonight's broadcast. Couldn't do it without them. If you get a chance to stop into any one of our sponsors, let them know that you were listening and thank them for their support of Rambler Athletics here on 107.9 CDY. Don't forget, stick around. The McBain Hardware halftime show will be coming up here in Beal City, as the Rambler defense being put to the test right now. They want to try and get a stop and at least forced a field goal attempt at worst.
Well, the thing is, the Aggies will get the ball back at the start of the second half.
Yes.
So this is one of Belichick's or the Patriots' favorite thing to do, is to bookend the halftime with scores. Aggies are knocking on the door.
Full house backfield behind Chillman. Chillman, that's a busted play. Was trying to hand it off to somebody. He's going to get pushed out of bounds. Verberkmos and friends, including Owen Banico, pushing him out of bounds back at the 23, call it the 22-yard line. It's going to be an 8-yard loss. It did go out of bounds. I think there was a miscommunication with the backfield Hawkeye, because he clearly wanted to hand that ball off, and there was nobody there. You can tell by the look on their face.
So,
55 seconds to go here in the first half.
I don't think I've seen Beal City pass yet.
The one interception, the desperation pass. But that was a planned pass, at least it seemed like it. Berryhill, the lone receiver, to the far sideline. Matthews and Fox in the backfield. Handoff is to Matthews. Matthews around the left edge, spinning away from one defender and dragged down by the other. And it will be up to about the 17-yard line. Give him 5, and it'll be third now and about 13 with 38 seconds to go and ticking. Beal City still has 2 timeouts. Chillman now in the shotgun with 4 receivers, and we're going to get a timeout by McBain, I'm sure. Yes, we will. 31.6 seconds remaining here in the first half. Ramblers with a timeout, trying to get a stop before halftime. We'll take a quick break, 30 seconds, and be back right after this.
Kelly's Pizza and Grill in McBain would like to take this opportunity to thank their loyal customers for all their years of support. It's with your patronage that Kelly's Pizza and Grill can continue to support local schools, churches, and charities, not to mention keep serving up great tasting breakfasts, lunches, and dinners. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Thursday, 6 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, 6 till 10. Always doing their best to serve the McBain community. Kelly's Pizza and Grill, 100 Maple Street in the heart of McBain.
31.6 ticks remaining here in the first half at Beal City High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye, Vanna, Zach Wiggins turning the dials, and the styles for us back in the studio. 14-0 McBain, but the Ramblers with their back to the wall here. 3rd and 13 for Beal City at the 21-yard line of the Ramblers as they're trying to get into the end zone before the half, following a Rambler turnover.
McBain chases them out of the spread formation.
Yep, they come back out with a single back, double wing. This time, though, Chillman rolling to his right, wants to throw, lost the handle on the ball. Now he'll shovel it forward, and it batted away beautifully. Fantastic job by Daniel Rodenbaugh to not try to pick that off, Hawkeye, and just bat it down with both hands. And it'll bring up 4th and 13 now with 24 seconds remaining. You're listening to WCDY, McBain Cadillac Lake City. One more big stop needed here by the Ramblers, because I'm guessing we will not see a 38-yard field goal attempt in these conditions. And we will not. Chillman brings his team to the line. He's got trips to the left. This is the spread formation. They've been out in one other time. Schaefer, the big target to the near sideline. Chillman looking his way. Chillman straight up the middle, and he's going to get bumped and go to the ground as the pressure by the Ramblers. He tried to step up through the sort of pocket that he was getting, but he got tripped up, Hawkeye, and so the Ramblers, with 19 seconds remaining, get the turnover on downs. That's a huge defensive stop and a big momentum builder for McBain.
Yeah, the great job both on outside with Bonico and Bam Bam, and then up the middle, Lucas Golden was getting a little bit of space, and that pocket just collapsed on Chillman, and he didn't have anywhere to go and didn't have the grip to really try and heave a good throw. But it looks like they're going to just take a knee. McBain's going to get ready to go to half.
That would be the smart thing to do. 19 seconds
just taking a knee to go to halftime.
remaining, and the Ramblers will do so. So, 2 quarters in the books here in Beal City, and it's the McBain Ramblers on Aggie homecoming night with a 14-0 lead. We'll take a break and be back with some first half stats and thoughts right after this.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country. With locations at Falmouth and McBain, Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy. Plus, bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters. And the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain student athletes.
Agriculture. It's in the blood of so many McBain families, and it's definitely in the lifeblood of the Vandervlocks, owners of VV Heritage LLC Custom Farm Services. They can be hired to prepare fields, plant, harvest, empty pits, and haul manure for the farmer. Just like the agriculture tradition, Dewey and sons Josh and Jake all played Rambler football. Cheer them on still today and take pride in supporting McBain Public School and the community. VV Heritage LLC Custom Farm Services, proud to continue the traditions of sports and agriculture in McBain.
Crandall Precision is your start-to-finish custom machine shop specializing in custom machine components and repair work with no minimum quantity limit. Need a special part you're having a hard time finding? Bring it to Crandall Precision and see what they can do for you. Crandall Precision has been offering fast, high-quality work for over 35 years, and they are committed to continuing that for years to come. Call Crandall Precision at 231-775-7101. That's 231-775-7101. Or you can reach them by email at crandallprecision@gmail.com. Crandall Precision, high-quality custom machine parts for any project, big or small.
The harsh northern Michigan winter is right around the corner, and that's why you need to heat your house with Holton's LP Gas. Call them today at 231-839-4600. You can contact the office for specials today. And if you're a new customer, they have specials for you as well. Holton's LP Gas has been in Lake City for 30 years, and don't worry, they service the entire listening area. They've got 24/7 live, trained professionals. Holton's LP Gas is a proud sponsor of McBain Athletics.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools offers a quality, well-rounded education for the whole child. McBain students have a technological head start from the beginning with their own issued MacBook or iPad. Rambler students are immersed in strong curriculum, including access to a large variety of vocational programs, a winning athletics program, and access to a new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Challenging competitive times require a challenging competitive education. Give your child the McBain advantage. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools.
Halftime here at Beal City High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio. It is a drizzly, rainy Friday evening here in Beal City. It is also homecoming, as we've got some halftime festivities going on for the Aggies as they announce the court and seniors and all the attending fun stuff that goes along with homecoming festivities. The Ramblers doing their best to ruin it, at least on the field, as they've got a 14-0 lead after the opening 2 quarters of play. This is the McBain Hardware halftime show. Run down the scoring for you in that first half, and right now it's been the McBain defense that's been the story of this game. Ramblers turned it over on downs deep in Beal City territory on their opening drive after a 12-play drive. Beal City, though, turned around and gave it right back as Gavin Seelan, with an interception, gave the Ramblers first down at the Beal City 17-yard line. The Ramblers went the wrong way initially, then benefited from a penalty by the Aggies to get a 1st and goal. And 2 plays later, Logan Vandenboss ran it in from 3 yards out. Daniel Rodenbaugh picked up the 2-point conversion as he came in late on that drive for Gavin Seelan. We still don't know why. Seelan has since come back and is playing both sides of the ball. We couldn't even find him on the sideline for McBain. So the magician, as Hawkeye likes to call him, we don't know where he went and we don't know what went on. We'll try to find that out for you later on. But the Ramblers went up 8-0 with about 3 minutes to go in the first quarter. Following an Aggie fumble, McBain got the ball back at their own 45 and then marched down the field thanks to a couple of solid runs from Seelan and Vandenbos. Vandenbos eventually punching it in from 3 yards out. 2-point conversion was no good, and the Ramblers went up 14-0 at the start of the second quarter. Beal City then took over at the McBain 42 after a face mask penalty gave them excellent field position. Got down to the 21-yard line of the Ramblers, but turned it over on downs. Two teams traded punts, and then McBain, after forcing another Beal City punt, coughed it up on the punt, touching the ball and allowing the Aggies to recover. Beal City recovered it at the 26-yard line of the Ramblers with 1:45 to go, but the McBain defense did a fantastic job after the Aggies got a first down at the 14-yard line, forced them to turn it over on downs, and then McBain kneeled out the remainder of the first half, and that is our score, 14-0 after 24 minutes of play here in Beal City. Again, want to thank McBain Hardware, our halftime sponsor. We also would like to take a moment and thank McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, Holton's LP Gas, McBain Auto Service, and the Wexford Misaki Career Tech Center for their support of tonight's broadcast. Literally couldn't do it without them. Each and every one of those sponsors are the reason that we are on the air and you're able to listen and not sit in the stands like the handful of diehards we've got across the field down here in Beal City, enjoying this one in the drizzle. Our sincere thanks to those sponsors for allowing us to do that. Make sure you stick around. The post-game show brought to you by AMP Wireless. We'll have the Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect Play of the Game, as well as the George Johnson All Heart Award, the Huttinga Electric Lineman of the Game, and of course the most exciting 15 seconds in all of sports, the Taylor Mechanical Hawkeye Player of the Game. We'll get some first half stats as soon as I've got my cohort in crime here, Hawkeye. Oh, maybe we'll get some first half stats right now, because Hawkeye has returned. Did you ever find out what happened to Sealand?
I did not find out what happened to Sealand, but the rumor I was hearing on the street was a kidney emergency.
Oh, that's classic. Well, we ran down the scoring, Hawkeye, but we're looking for some first half stats. What do you got there?
Well, for our player first half stats, Gavin Sealand was 2 for 4 passing for 46 yards. One of those went to Justin Camphouse for a 19-yard carry where he almost took it to the house, but stepped just barely on one piece of white painted grass on the sideline. Second one went to Garrett Berkmos to keep the chains moving for a 17-yard gain. Gavin's also leading the rushing with 11 carries for 31 yards. Logan Ronabaugh, 1 rush for 21 yards. And then Logan Vandenbos, 5 rushes for 16 yards and 2 touchdowns. Defensively, being led by Justin Camphouse with 9 tackles. Garrett Berkmos throwing in another 8. Caden McGillis with 3. Gavin Sealand with 2. Logan Vandenbos with 5. Owen Bonico with 2. But when he makes a tackle, you remember that tackle.
He's got 2 tackles? So yes. Really, he's got 1 tackle and 1 spin. 1 spinaroo to the ground.
Spinaroo, really? That's the best you can come up with.
That's the best I can come up with, yes.
Spinaroo.
I don't know what that was. It was a dismissive grab and toss.
Tell you what,
it was a manly tackle is what it was.
You don't want any girls trying to swing dance with him, because if he puts them in a spin, it's going to be like those old... You're
going to lose your football.
Bugs Bunny commercials where they get spin so hard they drill a hole into the ground.
Exactly. 14-0 here at halftime. Sorry, Hawkeye, go ahead.
I was going to say the big stat of the game so far, I would think, is the 2 turnovers by the Beal City Aggies versus the 1 to the McBain Ramblers.
Well, the Ramblers able to take advantage of the turnovers, actually scoring after both from Beal City, and the Ramblers able to stop the Aggies on the ensuing drive. The Aggies will get the ball to start the second half, but that was huge, keeping them off the scoreboard at the end of that first half. And this Rambler defense, Hawkeye, has really been some questions offensively. Weren't really sure how they would necessarily look with some new faces at certain positions, some new faces on the line, and some questions offensively, but defensively, we thought they would be pretty solid. They have, and have really put up some nice performances, especially, as we said, Lake City, 14 points. Lake City has put up 40-plus against most everybody else all season long.
Yeah, that is true on that. Now, have you ran the update on the scores for
I have not.
Area Highland Conference action? We have Pine River's up 23-8 over Manton at halftime, and Lake City is up 20-6 on Everett at halftime. And then we have Traverse City West up 25-0. Sorry, let me do that again. Your Pizza Plus Cadillac scoring update is Traverse City West 25, Cadillac 0. Cadillac only has 1 first down in the game. Their starting quarterback, linebacker is out. An injury has really decimated that team.
Yeah, Tim Baker is their best athlete without question, and that's a young man I'm actually looking very much forward to watching during basketball season. So,
speaking of basketball season, do you realize that the CDY is going to be covering 10 different basketball games for the McBain area?
They are?
Can you believe it? 6 McBain boys game, 2 McBain girls game, 2 NMC girls game, and 2 NMC boys game.
Wow. Who's the broadcast team going to be for those?
Well, as far as I know, it is going to be Jay and the puppet. He doesn't know who he's going to get to be next to him during those, but it's going to be some type of puppeteer. In fact, I think he's been working on throwing his voice so he can actually get paychecks for both color and play-by-play.
That would be true if I knew anything about basketball, but I don't. So, Beal City Aggie Marching Band out on the field entertaining the crowd here at halftime here in Beal City. We've got still a decent amount of time remaining, as you can imagine. Homecoming activities always lengthening halftime. What do you do as a head coach when you're the visiting team, Hawkeye, with your team at halftime? I don't know did he take them to the bus? Did he take them, how close they are to a locker room?
There's a building, a little built shed that's just at the end of the track, and I mean, both teams get to have on each end of it, and that's where the magician disappeared to.
Gotcha.
But that, what do you tell your team? Well, first of all, it's a 0-0 game. That's what you always tell your team. But if you actually do Fred Kasserback math, they always say that when you come to Beal City, they will have a 14-point lead. Now, if it's 14-0, it's really tight. So you got to go with
can't say it's 0-0.
You do the cliche. Boys, it's 0-0. And if you think you're just going to run over this team, please explain to me the last 4 minutes of the game when we decided to fumble it back to them and they were driving and knocking on the door. Before their own penalties shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they had 1st and 10 at the 14 and then went backward.
So you remind them that you better play hungry, you better play hard. And number 2, you said, this is Beal City. And if you want to rest on your laurels, I have one word for you to forever erase that, and it's Ionia.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my goodness. That is the truth. As long as there's anybody on that team, that word should be enough to refocus them without question. And if it's not, then I question those kids' logic.
And if you don't know Ionia, McBain was up 34-0 at halftime, and they were looking at trying to get another score to get a running clock. They were trying to get some sub players in. And Ionia, supposedly, I didn't see where the stat came from, had the largest comeback in high school history from a deficit.
Surprise me. Would not surprise me. Of course, we know the reason that happened. That was an announcer jinx.
Kind of like that last fumble?
Yeah. That one was your fault, though, not mine. 14-0 here at halftime in Beal City. We're going to take a quick break. The Beal City Aggie Marching Band entertaining the crowd here in Aggie country, doing a fine job. Well, that was a flourish to end that one with. Very cool.
Did you see that flag fly 20 feet in the air?
That was sweet. Caught it exactly the way she wanted to. That was beautiful.
Another nomination for the Judy K. Gildy Picture Perfect Play of the Game. Don't think the band has never won the award, because they actually have.
Yes, they have. We'll take a break, and we'll be back. Second half of this one coming your way right after this.
Your one-stop farm supply store is Falmouth Co-op in the heart of agriculture country, with locations at Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op has what you need to keep all your animals well-fed and healthy, plus bulk fuel and professional agronomy services like custom fertilizers and spraying and soil and grid sampling. Falmouth Co-op is your premier grain dealer and birdseed headquarters, and the McBain location has pizza, burgers, wings, and appetizers. Stop in today at either location in Falmouth and McBain. Falmouth Co-op is proud to support McBain student athletes.
High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
When it's late, when it's snowing, when you just have to have it. It's nice knowing McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain is open 7 days a week. Locally owned and operated with the friendliest cashiers helping to serve your grocery needs. From candy and chips to pop and munchies, McNally's Party Store, they're still keeping it cold. And wishing the McBain Ramblers good luck in tonight's game. That's McNally's Party Store in downtown McBain, open 7 days a week.
And welcome back to Beal City High School. 14-0, the McBain Ramblers with the lead. Here in Aggie country, it's homecoming for the Aggies. The Aggie Marching Band out entertaining the crowd on this drizzly, rainy Friday evening. It is a slick field, and we have seen 2 fumbles and an interception in this game. The Ramblers forcing 2 turnovers. The Aggies 1, but it's been McBain that's been able to take advantage, scoring after both of the Beal City turnovers. And as mentioned, they have the 14-0 lead here at halftime. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio. It's a packed house in this press box as the another radio station local is here. We've got Isaac Culp next to us doing the Rambler review, and
the
host of others.
The marching band is doing a Star Wars themed show tonight. I don't know if you recognize that, but the Flaggettes were actually wearing some different Star Wars garments.
Yes.
And I don't know if you realize this or not, but I did see the coach on the other side working on Jedi mind tricks through the wall of the McBain Ramblers, trying to get them to cough the ball off a little bit more often. Either that or is me doing heavy breathing because I had to walk all the way to the concession stand.
Pat Maloney, well, I could have let you do the break while I went and got my own water, but...
No, I'm just saying,
okay.
Heavy breathing was the joke.
Pat Maloney, I think, actually did do a little Jedi mind trick because on the Beal City Aggies' earlier possession in that second quarter, after the 4th down play, they marked the ball, looked like the nose of the ball on the 20. They ended up shifting it back slightly, called it a first down, and Maloney threw the hands out to his side as if to say, hey, wait, you can't just call that a first down. You got to measure that. They did. Ended up short, and the Ramblers got the turnover on down. So obviously Maloney
with the Jedi
master as well.
Yeah, there you go.
Ramblers back out on the field. Actually, both teams back out on the field, beginning to warm up. We've got about a minute and a half on the clock, and we of course will get the additional magical 3 minutes that they always add back to the clock as well. before our second half will start. Homecoming always takes a little bit longer. Not so bad tonight. Both teams keeping the ball on the ground for the most part. And while there have been a handful of penalties, there have not been a ton, and it has gone by relatively quickly down here in Beal City.
Well, the ball hasn't been flying a lot for passing, so if I did my math right, McBain's thrown it 4 times, Beal City has thrown it once?
Beal City has
twice.
Actually thrown it once? What was the other one? The interception.
I
don't think they ever threw a pass, though. They wanted to.
You're right. They were sacked on that.
They wanted to throw a pass. They ran a passing play twice, but didn't get a pass off either time. So got pushed out of bounds once, I think, and sacked on the other one. So fine job by the Beal City Aggie marching band. Always love a good marching band. And some of these smaller schools, it's nice to see the numbers. The Aggies have got some swell uniforms and some good numbers out there. Nice sounding band.
They do, but I tell you what, they're kind of lacking. They could really use a flautist and a sousaphone player.
I'll tell you
and
what.
I think if they could have that, you're raising the bar. You are the bar.
I mean, no school anywhere in northern Michigan is going to have the flautist and sousaphone player that the Ramblers have. I mean,
you ready for a cute story?
Yes.
My son was ticked off last week when they were in full uniforms because he doesn't get to wear the hat. Because of the way the sousaphone is on him and the things above his head.
Now, you keep calling it a sousaphone. What does everybody else call it?
It's not a tuba. It's actually a sousaphone.
Oh, it's not a tuba.
No, it's a sousaphone. It's a smaller size tuba because in the way it's designed.
Tuba Junior.
Okay, but it hangs. Put the weight on the shoulder versus
Tuba Gooding Jr.
Anyway, he's upset he doesn't get to wear the cool hat with the plume because of the opening of the sousaphone.
That's funny. I mean, I feel bad for him.
So I just saw this kid over here. He was wearing a beret. And I'm like, maybe I need to get my son a beret. And I'll run it past the band teacher. Like, hey, can he have a beret? I'll pay for it.
Right.
Because he feels like an oddball.
I like it.
But wearing a beret won't make you like an oddball.
No. Wearing a beret will make you look cool. What are you talking about? I'm not sure you can trust me. I am old, but I think a beret makes you look cool. Well, Hawkeye, let's talk about what went right and what needs to continue for these Ramblers in the second half. You talked a little bit about how, as a head coach, you're probably telling your team, hey, it's 0-0. Don't forget Ionia. Let's stay focused in this second half, as we've got quite a bit of activity going on around us here in this press box. But from an offensive standpoint, the Ramblers did a nice job running the ball, opening up holes, and picking up chunks of yards at various times. They ran off a lot of clock. I've got times, and I could probably do the math. I'm just not that bright on my drive chart, but I do know that the Ramblers, without question, probably led in time of possession. But any adjustments you think they're going to get made offensively?
You know, the only adjustments I see is that they're going to be doing something on that line. And you saw it in the first half as they started to do it, because Seth Schaefer was having his way with the offensive line. And they made some adjustments there to...
27-year-old Seth Schaefer?
Yes, as a junior. I heard he actually drove to his middle school graduation.
He's a big boy.
Anyways, so what
I mean that as a compliment, in case any Schaefers are listening, I swear.
But anyways, what I would say is the offensive line and neutralizing the penetration of Beal City's defensive line. And I guess you're going to be looking at, it's wet, but it's the old-fashioned 4 yards in a cloud of dust type of format for the Ramblers, which you've not really seen this season. So
4 yards and a splash.
Yeah. My son tells me he loves playing in the mud. He likes driving my vehicles through the mud puddles, and he would like to spray a little mud out here today too.
Well, he's getting the opportunity. Halftime is done. Our thanks to McBain Hardware for sponsorship of the halftime show here in Beal City. And we are about ready to get the second half underway here in Aggie country. Somebody getting the 50-50 raffle. He does have a light blue beret on. Look at that. That's really cool.
I told you.
So that's a sousaphone.
Yes.
Because it's smaller.
Yes.
Tuba Jr.
And it's the way it's weighted.
Nice.
All right, he twisted the ball, so everyone's pointing to the east side of the field.
Hendrickson, boot to ball. And this will take a bounce, be scooped up at around the 25-yard line and up over the 35-yard line. And that's where Beal City will start the opening possession of the second half at their own 38-yard line.
Now you can see the way that was fielded by Chase Maxim. He's a baseball player. He squatted down, got low on the ball, his hands low to take it off the ground like that.
Well, don't we assume every Aggie is a baseball player?
I actually heard they were born with the doctor has a glove to catch the babies as they come out. That's how early they start playing baseball here.
First baseman's glove, right? Not a catcher's mitt. Probably first baseman's glove just for the extra security.
It depends on which family.
Okay. Full house backfield for the Aggies as they go left to right to start this second half. Logan Chillman will hand it off. And spinning away, was that Fox? I saw a 2. I don't think there's a 12. Ryan Ams is number 12, but I think it was 32. Sam Fox taking it out over the 40-yard line to the 41, gain of about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for Beal City.
Logan Vandenbosch making the great tackle on that one. Beal City trying to get those ends in there to fold a seam for the running back to get through. McBain's doing a pretty good job of handling it.
Now in the first half, Hawkeye Bubba Ames was tearing up the Ramblers. Not see him on the sideline, but I don't see him on the field either. As Chillman comes under center. Man in motion, the handoff is too small. The ball's on the turf. And I think the Ramblers have it. Actually, the Aggies.
They're calling him down.
Oh, they're saying he was down. Okay.
But that was crazy because the Aggies were moving 100 miles an hour, but they couldn't get in anywhere going. They were beached or something.
The ball came out, and all of a sudden there was blue jerseys everywhere, but they couldn't move toward the ball. And suddenly the Ramblers were all over it, but they did call him down, so they will move it up to the 42-yard line. Ends up being a gain of 1. It'll be 3rd and about 6 now for the Aggies. Full house backfield behind Logan Chillman. Chillman gives it to Fox up the middle, and Fox forward progression is going to give him about the 44-yard line, give him a couple. And it's going to bring up 4th and about 4 now for Beal City. Tough call here. You're down 14-0, but this feels a little too early with 10 minutes to go here in the third quarter to be taking risks in the middle of the field, especially with the way McBain's been able to move the ball on the ground.
Well, and then also anytime catching a punt is a risk right now.
Yes, you benefited the last time you punted, but they're going to go for it. Chillman in the shotgun now, and he's got 4 receivers, actually. 4 receivers as he comes out with 1 in the backfield, Jack Schaefer. And now he'll rush back for punt formation and pooch punt this thing. Quickly running back was Gavin Seelan. Seelan fields the punt, makes a man miss over the 30, 40. Seelan pushed out of bounds over the 45-yard line, and we got flags coming out late, as I'm going to assume from here that the likely culprit is a late hit on the Aggies as Seelan going out of bounds. Flag was thrown in that area.
See that or horse collar, because I did look like that he had a hand inside the shoulder pads, but most likely we're going to go with what you said.
We'll see. It's a personal foul on the Aggies, but he's not indicating what it is. I don't know what the personal foul was, but they're going to move him 15 yards. So the Ramblers will benefit. And credit Gavin Seeland, Hawkeye, for quickly. I'm sure that in that situation, Seeland is the designated player to run back to field that.
Instead of Berkmos?
I guess whoever maybe is playing free safety at the moment. So the Ramblers will take over at the 38-yard line as the handoff is to Logan Rodenbaugh. And Rodenbaugh is corralled and dumped in the backfield. Great tackle by, a player who's...
Adam Pung.
Don't have. Was it 75? Yeah, Adam Pung with the tackle. So that'll take McBain back. Actually starting at the same spot the Aggies started in the first half. It'll go back to the 44, though, of Beal City. And we got a flag before the snap. And it's going to be offsides on McBain, so they're going to go back another 5. Which means it'll be back to the 49-yard line of the Aggies. 8:53 to go here in the third quarter. McBain, after picking up the 15 free yards, is given back about 10 on a loss and a penalty. Yeah, we'll call it the 48, I guess.
They actually called that on the center for being too far over the ball before he snapped it.
Really? That's rare. You don't see that much. So it'll make it about 2nd and 20 for McBain as we are in country mile territory. 14-0 Ramblers as they go right to left. 8:45 and ticking to go here in the third quarter. Seelan in the pistol. 2 running backs behind him, and Seelan trying to belly it. Has to take it back, and he is buried back in McBain territory by a host of Aggies. As Beal City Hawkeye basically selling out now against the run.
Yeah, they're daring McBain to pass it, which that was a good guess on that one, but they know McBain's going to have to be looking at a big play opportunity right here. Maybe trying to see if the Camp House on this drag route that has worked so well against Manton.
3rd and about 23 now, back at the McBain 48-yard line. Seelan now in the shotgun. Camp House in motion. Trips to the right, and now we've got a flag again, and it's going to be false start on the Ramblers. I don't know if that was Camp House leaning toward the line before the ball was snapped, Hawkeye, or if it was something else. But boy, that's going to send McBain now back inside their own 45 to the 43-yard line. And they are just going the wrong direction right now.
Yeah, you know, you started off with a big 15-yard penalty, and then you give it all back and then some.
3rd and 27 for the Ramblers. Seelan in the shotgun. He's got Trips to his right. Barton to the left. And immediately handed off, and the Aggies not buying the pass at all. Vandenbos with the handoff, and Vandenbos buried under 5 different blue shirts. And so the Ramblers will be forced to punt now at their own 40-yard line. They ended up losing, Hawkeye, 22 yards on 4 plays, 3 plays essentially, and 2 penalties. And will be forced to punt with 7.5 minutes to go. Not a good start for the second half for the offense.
No, and I can see the Aggies going after the punt here.
And they will. Here comes Schaefer straight up the middle, but a nice punt. Fair catch called for and muffed, but then he'll fall on top of it. Does the Aggies Chase Maxon. Took it in the chest, dropped the ball, but then immediately fell on it. And so the Aggies will take over at their own 30-yard line. So Noah Hendrickson, Hawkeye, really right now minor hero of the game, as he's been able to get off some really good punts in important situations.
That was a 38-yard punt, and it was still 2 yards short of the first down.
Well, you don't hear that often, do you? So the Aggies with a full house backfield going left to right, first down at their own 30 after getting a great defensive stop against McBain. Chillman wants to pass, rolling out to his left. Chillman looking downfield, firing underneath through the hands of his intended receiver. That was Talon Neath. And so it'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Aggies.
I know this is late, but I remember the second pass attempt now in the first half.
Yeah.
The Daniel Rollenball lay out.
Bat down, yeah, the 2-handed bat down. Yes, you're right. So 0 for 3 now with an interception is Logan Chillman through the air.
Who the boys like to call the octopus, because when he plays basketball, he is a one-man press that can cover the same areas.
He is lanky. Chillman with 2 backs, 1 receiver either side. Handoff is straight up the middle. This is Small. And Trey Small will take it up close to the 45-yard line. Give him the 45. It'll be 3rd down now and 5 for the Aggies with 6:45 to go here in the third quarter.
Brings up the 3rd and 5 for the Aggies.
14-0 McBain. 2 teams have traded punts to start this second half. Chillman under center, 2 backs behind him. He's got Berryhill to the near side. Adds a receiver, another receiver to the far side. Sealand blitzing, throwing on a slant pattern to Berryhill, and Berryhill elevating, makes the catch, brought down by Verberkmos and Rodenball. Ramblers don't think he caught it, but the referees do not agree. It is a good catch. So it's a first down. Aggies now at the 43-yard line of Beal City. It's a nice job by Berryhill. Sealand coming over, Hawkeye, I think, left that slant open by blitzing from that side.
Yeah, and you got to expect that it's going to be really hard to get a deep pass going in the game so far, especially from this formation. And so you got to watch for those short, quick ones.
Full house backfield for Beal City. Chillman will hand it off to Small. Small with a head of steam, plowing his way forward, knifing his way through a couple of different defenders and picking up a little extra yards at the end of that run. Boy, Trey Small, the junior, this is a terrible pun, but is his name. Not a big kid, but boy, he hits that hole with a head of steam.
Yeah, it reminds me of a Ty Rawlings.
Yeah, that's a great callback. Former Aggie standout hits that hole hard, and he is not afraid of contact without question. Ball marked at about the 48-yard line. It's 2nd and 5.
You know, the Ramblers have really been practicing hitting them at the waist, their tackles, so that you cannot get the extra yardage. But with his size, they're not been able to get down that low.
Chillman will hand it off to Fox, and Fox will pick his way forward as the Aggies now, Hawkeye, using a little misdirection, putting a man in motion, and pulling on the line a little bit to try and generate some better matchups. And they've got another first down at the Rambler 46. 5:09 to go here in the third quarter. 14-0 McBain, but the Aggies, after forcing the Ramblers to go backward, have a first down in Rambler territory. Full house backfield behind Chillman. Aggies going left to right. Chillman surveying. Chillman will hand it off to Fox, and Fox is grabbed and tossed down. Bonico. Nope, sorry. Vandenbos wrapping him up and dragging him to the turf. Nice tackle by Logan Vandenbos.
Yep, Vandenbos playing defensive end. They're having a 5-man front when you get this package out of Beal City, and they're just collapsing and just trying to find those holes that they want to set up and try and crash them.
Put the nose of the ball on the 45.
So
Second and about 9. Long 8. Chillman with 2 wings now. Matthews is the tailback. Sends Berryhill in motion. Chillman wants to throw quickly to Schaefer, and Schaefer might have lost that ball, as the line judge said that he did, but I think it ended up right underneath Schaefer. He ends up falling down on it. That's the closest thing I've seen, Hawkeye, to a high school Rob Gronkowski.
Exactly. Takes 3 yards, turn around, and we're just going to throw it into your helmet, and you can shield anybody off on that one.
Yeah, he went up, elevated amidst the Rambler defense, pulled that down, then turned around and was determined that nobody was going to tackle him as he tried to carry several white jerseys forward. So it's going to bring up 3rd and short now at the 38-yard line of McBain. Full house backfield behind Chillman. 3:25 to go here in the third, and we've got an official timeout. And now we'll go again. Don't know what that was about.
The clock didn't start.
Okay. Chillman hands it off. Berryhill bouncing forward is going to pick up the first down. Although some Ramblers diving like they think the ball came out. And we're going to call it a first down. Well, I tell you, Berryhill and Small both not big kids at all, but they hit the hole hard. Boy, the way they spotted that ball, it's a lot closer to the first down marker than I would think. I don't doubt it was a first down, but that's a lot closer to the 38 than the 39. But it is a first down. Excuse me, the 36. Trips to the left for Chillman in the shotgun. Chillman rolling to his left, wants to run the whole way, and a nice diving tackle by Justin Camphouse, getting underneath the stiff arm of Chilman. The field's starting to get a little chopped up there in the middle there, Hawkeye.
Yeah, this is it's getting a lot of work in between the 30s so far this game.
Mark it at the 35-yard line. The Aggies coming up on their 10th play of the drive. Picked up 3 first downs, and there's 2:23 to go here in the third quarter. Still anybody's game here at 14-0. That is not a big margin in the Highland.
Especially in Beal City.
Fox is the lone receiver to the near side. Excuse me, Matthews. There's a pitch. Small around the right side. Small avoids another tackle, and then he's going to get drilled and dropped as Logan Rodenbaugh, with a huge hit, drove Small into the turf. That's a penalty in the NFL. It really is these days. That was Logan Rodenbaugh saying, you know what? You're smaller than me, and I'm going to drive you to the turf.
That's right.
But Small comes up just shy of the first down. It's going to be marked at around the 27-yard line, and it's going to be 3rd and 1 now for the Aggies as they continue this impressive drive. 1.5 minutes to go here in the third. Chilman will hand it off and trying to spin away. We're going to get a flag from the far side. We're going to get one near side. I think we're going to get another face mask, Hawkeye. This is going to be costly for the Ramblers because this is going to set up the Aggies inside the 15-yard line. And I'm assuming it's a face mask because
it's a face mask.
I saw Sam Fox's head turn in a way that he probably shouldn't.
And I'm pretty sure it's a 15-yarder.
Yeah, well, that was not an inadvertent face mask. Let's put it that way. Flag was thrown. It is a personal foul variety, so this is going to be 15 yards. This is going to be marked inside the 15 to the 13-yard line, and it's going to be a first down on the penalty for the Aggies with 1:17 to go. Beal City in excellent field position now. First down. Showman looking for the play. Aggies looking to their wrists. And now we're going to get
an official timeout.
Yeah. Apparently.
Blood on the arm.
Yeah, Schaefer's got something. So Seth Schaefer, the tight end, will have to come off the field. He'll be substituted by Chase Maxson. So 2 backs. Lone receiver is buried to the sideline. Shillman wants to throw to him. Little stop and go. And it is, oh my goodness, we're going to get a flag on the play. Boy, I don't know.
All he did was screen the receiver, and I know, but they called it. They called some kind of pass.
Going to get 2 flags in the end zone, Hawkeye, and I don't know if they're saying is contact. But you're allowed to face guard. You're allowed to just put up an arm and defend, but apparently the officials decided there was contact because this is going to be pass interference, and it's going to be
half the distance to the goal line, so it won't even give them the first down.
No, so from the 13, it's going to be marked at around the 6.5-yard line.
7-yard line, if I'm not mistaken, first and goal.
So we'll call it the 7. And we'll repeat first down. So first down, they can still get a first down at the 3. First down from the 7. First and about 4 now for the Aggies. Full house backfield, and now we get another stoppage, and we're going to get a timeout from the Ramblers. 48 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Aggies knocking on the door following a 13-play drive. They've got a first down from the 7. We'll be back 30 seconds right after this.
In
In the small town of McBain lies a locally owned family pharmacy that takes pride in helping improve the health of every patient that comes through the door. At McBain Family Pharmacy, you're more than just a prescription. Here, you're family, and their experienced team of professionals are always available to answer any questions you may have regarding prescription and over-the-counter medications. McBain Family Pharmacy is your full-service family pharmacy for both traditional and compound medications. Call them today at 231-825-8175. That's 231-825-8175. Or stop by their store, located at 119 North Roland Street in McBain.
And welcome back to Beal City High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio. Rambler football here on 107.9 CDY. 48 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. McBain has a 14-0 lead, but the Aggies have put together a monstrous drive, 13 plays, and they've got a first down and 4 following a pass interference call in the end zone. They can get a first down at the 3. Handoff is to Small. Small grabbed by the jersey and slung to the ground again. This time, I think we can give credit to Caden McGillis for that tackle. And it will stop him at about the 5, maybe just inside the 5. Gain of 2, and it'll bring up 2nd and 2 now for the Aggies.
It looks like the Aggies are going to try and get one more play in the quarter.
20 seconds left in the third quarter.
Full house backfield again. Small, Berryhill, and Matthews are your backs. Chillman under center. 10 seconds remaining. Chillman will hand it off. And Fox, without much room to go, slipped as he got up. Helped to the turf by Daniel Rodenbaugh. Picked up nothing. And at the 5-yard line, we will switch ends. 3 quarters in the books. The final 12 minutes of this one coming up. The Aggies knocking on the door. Can the Ramblers get another big stop? Well, only one way to find out. We'll be back right after this.
Stop into High Point Auto and Truck Center in Cadillac for a great selection of new GMC and Cadillacs. High Point is your premier source for parts, services, tires, accessories, and new and certified used vehicles. We are your one-stop shop for every vehicle need that you may have. At High Point Auto and Truck, customer satisfaction is our goal. High quality, high standards, but low prices at High Point Cadillac GMC, located at exit 177 in Cadillac.
We've all been there. We rely on our vehicles more than ever to get us where we need to go, safe and sound. McBain Auto Service is open Monday through Friday and are fully licensed and insured to serve you. With over 50 years combined experience, they specialize in everything from brakes to engine repair with no job too big or small. Stop in for a safety inspection. McBain Auto Service, located at 9438 South Maury Road in McBain, or call 231-825-2729.
3 quarters in the books. 4th quarter about to start. 14-0. McBain with the lead here in Beal City, but the Aggies have a 3rd down and 2 from the 4 or 5 yard line or so. Call it the 5. They need to get to the 3 to pick up a first down. Looking to get on the board as we start this 4th quarter. We've flipped ends. The Aggies now going right to left. Chillman under center. Chillman trying to keep it himself, moving forward. And I'm not sure he's got this. No, the head linesman calling 4th down, so it's going to be 4th down now for the Aggies from the 4. Only need about a yard. Of course, from this angle, it looks like they need 2, Hawkeye.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the yard markers moved, even though the line judge has.
I think they need to get to about the 3. The ball just inside the 5. And it is 4th and a long one, almost 2 now for the Aggies. Chillman is a long, tall drink of water. They may try that again. Chillman with the full house behind him. And now we've got movement on the Aggies on the right side of the line. And now we're going to be looking at 4th and 6.
That's a huge penalty. That could be a huge penalty right there, as Beal City didn't even have to get to the end zone to keep this drive alive. They just had to fall forward for a yard and a half, and they could have a fresh set of downs to get into the end zone. Now it's like a 2-point conversion. after a penalty. So, yeah, you might as well get the touchdown on this. I don't know if you technically can get the first down, but most likely it's either touchdown or nothing.
It was 2 penalties that helped set this up for the Aggies by the Ramblers, and now the Aggies give one of them back as they come out in a 2-wing look. Small in motion. Chillman wants to throw. Chillman under pressure, avoids it, runs to the left side. Chillman looking for the corner, and he's going to be met by 2 different Ramblers and thrown out of bounds shy of the first down. This should be a Rambler turnover on downs. McBain football as Chillman did his best, Hawkeye, to try and push through Sealand and Camphouse, but they were having none of it. And the Rambler defense, after facing a first down and 4 from the 7, stiffens and gets the stop. What a big stop.
A big stop right there. Hey, I got some scoring updates. This is the Pizza Plus scoring updates. Cadillac is down 39-0. They're at a running clock. Lake City looks like they are going to get the outright championship of the Highland Conference as they are up 33-6. Matten put another score on the board. They are now 23-14 down to Pine River. Both those are still in the third quarter.
Ramblers will come out with 3 receivers to the left. Sealand in the shotgun with Vandenboss in the backfield. Rodenbaugh indicating we're going to get a delay of game. Logan Rodenbaugh was indicating to Gavin Sealand kind of a waving off the play sort of thing, as if to say, you know, whatever I was supposed to do, I'm not going to do here. But now the Ramblers will go back half the distance. They're at the 6. They'll go back to the 3-yard line following the delay of game penalty.
And I expect Beal City to sell out on this one.
It'll be 1st and 13. You can expect a host of blue jerseys coming Gavin Sealand's way. Gavin will keep it himself, tries the left side, spins away from a defender, and nearly gets back to the 5-yard line, gain of a couple. We'll give him the 5. It'll be 2nd and about 12 now for the Ramblers with 10.5 minutes to go here in the ball game. 14-0 McBain as the Aggies substitute defensively. 2 receivers split either way for the Ramblers. Sealand standing on his own goal line in the shotgun with Vandenboss in the backfield. And now we got another flag. And we're going to get a false start on the Ramblers. Goodness gracious. Basically, the head linesman just saying, look, you're lined up in the neutral zone. You need to back up. It is such a tough thing because it's so minorly subjective sometimes, you know?
You're right about that. Tell. And the thing is that it's like an umpire behind home plate. Their strike zones change. Yes. That's what's happening out here, too. And McBain is not adjusting to the change of the strike zone.
2nd down and long as now Sealand in his own end zone. Ball marked back about the 2.5-yard line. Sealand wants to throw. Sealand over the middle for Camphouse. Caught! Camphouse with the catch outside the 30-yard line and brought down inside the 35. And it is a 1st down, McBain. What a catch by Justin Camphouse over the shoulder as the ball probably touched the Aggie defender as it went by his arm. What concentration by Camphouse.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Camphouse, but what about Sealand putting the ball right there? They had the perfect arc just to get over Small's outstretched finger.
What a gutsy call by Pat Maloney, too, in the shadow of his own goalpost as Sealand now under pressure, rolling to his left. Sealand trying to shed the defender, and he's going to get thrown out of bounds. And now we got a flag way behind the play in the defensive backfield.
I don't know what that's going to be. I don't
think either team knows what that is.
Is that going to be a face mask on McBain for the straight arm?
No, the flag is way back out here, unless he saw, I mean, I'm not sure why the back judge would make that call when there were 3 other zebras closer to the play. That was just jersey that he had on Sealand. That shouldn't be anything on the tackle.
Unless he's calling it way after it went out of bounds.
They're picking it up. Yeah, they're picking it up. So apparently the back judge thought he saw something. The other officials indicated, no, you didn't. And so they came together, picked it up. That's the right thing to do. Nice job by the officiating crew. 9.5 minutes remaining in the ball game, and so it'll now be 2nd and about 5 as Sealand got to the 40-yard line. Trips to the right for Sealand. Rolling to his right. He'll tuck it. gets a block. He's got a first down and more as he'll hustle out of bounds right around midfield. And now we got a late flag coming out as an Aggie and Owen Bonica went sprawling out of bounds. I don't know if this is a holding your block too long, if this is, I have no idea.
I think they're going to be calling for excessive blocking after the whistle. Personal foul.
It is a personal foul, and it is going to be against the Ramblers.
Yeah, it just went too far. McBain was blocking.
Just held his block too long. It's a fine line, Hawkeye, between aggressiveness and legality in football, isn't it? And sometimes that line is very subjective. It's tough. Not that that was subjective, because he blocked him all the way to the track.
And that's going to be 15 yards, so that's going to...
So he had the first down at the 50. It's going to take them back to the 35, which was the original line of scrimmage. Which means it was 2nd and 5, which means it should be second now and about 9. They're marking this at the 36. They had flipped the thing to first down, but it's not a first. Oh, it's after the play, so it will be first down.
No.
Well, if it's after the play. So it's first down from where they are.
Dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul. They had the first down picked up. So if it's a dead ball foul.
Yes.
So now is it first down at 10? It should be first and 25, shouldn't it?
No, because it's a dead ball foul.
Okay.
They gave him the first down, then moved it back. This is the correct interpretation.
That's weird.
As goofy as it is.
It is weird. So it's like a net of a yard. Boy, that was weird. Half the Ramblers moved, half the Ramblers didn't. The snap was high. Seelan pulled it in. He gets tackled in the backfield. And there's more flags on the field. Goodness gracious.
That one's going to be definitely against McBain for 5 yards, but you saved the down. You were going to lose 8 yards on that play.
Yes, indeed.
And a down.
That's very true. It actually works out quite well for them. Boy, oh boy. Remember when I said early in the first half how it was a pretty cleanly played game, not a lot of laundry on the field?
Yeah.
I take it all back.
There's your curse.
That's right. There's your announcer's curse. I know several flags that are going to need to be laundered very well. 9:16 to go in the game. Ramblers with trips to the left now. Ethan Barton lined up at tight end. Seelan will run to his left. Gets a nice block. Seelan over first down. Seelan with a first down and more. Seelan over midfield, and he'll be pushed out of bounds in Aggie territory. But before I tell you where he went, let me make sure there's no flags on the play. No, there are not. The chains are moving and everything. This is a legitimate Rambler first down. Don't anybody touch anybody. All right, this is a real first down. Pushed out of bounds. They're going to mark him back. Where are they bringing this back to? Just outside the 45. We'll call it the 46 of Beal City. But it is a first down following the 24-yard run by Gavin Seelan. Comes out in the shotgun again. 4 receivers looking to set up a screen with Logan Rodenbaugh. Rodenbaugh's got room, and Rodenbaugh will go with the defender out of bounds inside the 40-yard line, give him the 38. About an 8-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 2 now for McBain as Seelan seen that they're giving them lots of space.
Yeah, and Rodenbaugh really tried to put the brakes on and stay in bounds on that one because he wanted to keep the clock running, but was driven out of bounds, so that did stop the clock for the Aggies.
Yep, 9 minutes flat to go in this one. 2nd and 2 now for McBain. Trips to the left as Rodenbaugh, your slot receiver, on the left side. Seelan still looking to Maloney for the play. For Berkmos, your lone receiver near side. Seelan wants to go for Berkmos and caught. Did he hang on to it?
He did.
He did. Garrett Berkmos with an athletic catch on the near sideline inside the 10. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Ramblers. What a catch by Garrett Verberkmos as the Ramblers let Garrett go one-on-one. He's done that effectively this year at 6'6". He is a big target. That was just a well-thrown back shoulder throw, Hawkeye, by Seeland. Verberkmos, the only one who was going to bring that one in, and he does.
And you see what happens when he's able to set up on his own feet and throw the ball.
Yeah, now we know for once. At the 6-yard line, 1st and goal now for McBain. Seeland fakes to Vandenbosch, tries the right side of the line, and immediately buried by several blue jerseys. Picks up a couple, give him the 3-yard line. It'll be 2nd and goal from there as the clock continues to tick. 8:40 to go in this one. Ramblers, what a turnabout, Hawkeye. You're listening to WCDY, McBain, Cadillac, Lake City. What a turnaround. The Aggies, for all the world, looked like the start of this quarter they were going to punch it in and get on the board. The Ramblers get a huge stop, start from the shadow of their own goal line following a couple of penalties, and now they're knocking on the door. Seeland in the shotgun. He'll immediately try the right side, skips by one man, driving for the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Ramblers. Gavin Seeland gets into the end zone to put the Ramblers up 20-0 with 8:11 to go here in the ball game.
I'm sorry.
Powerful run by Seeland.
I'm getting emotional here. My son has been playing against Beal City for 8 years, and he has never been within 20 points of the Beal City Aggies. Ever.
At any level.
At
Wow.
any level.
Wow.
At any level.
Well, he is now within 20 points, but the right way. Seeland in the shotgun going for 2. Wants to throw, and on the slant for Barton, led him just a little too far. And Ethan Barton unable to pull it in. But with 8:11 remaining in the game, the McBain Ramblers have a 20-0 lead over the Beal City Aggies here on homecoming night in Aggie country. We'll take a quick break and be back right after this.
Making the final arrangements for a loved one is never easy. At Burkholder Family Funeral Home in McBain, they can help you get through the process one step at a time. Serving the families in McBain and the surrounding communities for over 40 years, they take pride in providing exceptional services that families can actually afford. The caring and compassionate staff at Burkholder Family Funeral Home can help ease the burden. Burkholder Family Funeral Home. Visit them today at 211 North Pine Street in McBain or call 231-825-8191.
And welcome back to Beal City High School. Jay Simon alongside Gary Hawkeye Vanna. Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio. It is 20-0. The McBain Ramblers with the lead, looking for back-to-back wins over the Aggies in what I'm going to assume is the first time in a while. I don't know how long it may have been. There was a time in the
1964.
Early 10s? No. There was a time in the early 10s they might have got back-to-back wins, but I just don't think they did.
I would say somewhere around the early aughts.
I was thinking the Logan Nemeth years, the district regional titles. I was thinking maybe somewhere in there, but all those seasons that ended against Ishpeming. In any case, I could look it up, and maybe I will. But as we have learned, you do not count any chickens at any time. As Hendrickson will kick this one deep, taken by Maxon around the 20-yard line, makes a man miss. And now the ball on the turf, but the Aggies will immediately fall on it. And the Aggies will take over at their own 33-yard line with 8:04 remaining in this one.
And over in Trojan country, they just put another score up on Lake City for homecoming day, as they're now up 40-6 with 1 minute left in the third quarter.
I told somebody who's a Lake City fan who was a little concerned about that game that they were going to be able to handle them without any trouble, especially on homecoming night. And I predicted, I think I said 52-14.
Well, they'll got
52-13, I think I said.
And the Pizza Plus Cadillac score update is game is over. Traverse City West wins 42-0.
Full house backfield for the Aggies as they go right to left and drilled in the backfield. Goodness, initially, and then Noah Hendrickson finishing it off. Was that Seeland? It was. Gavin Seeland coming in and making the first hit on Matthews. And then Hendrickson finishing him off back at the 32, loss of a yard. But boy, what a hit initially by Gavin Seeland. Coming off the edge, basically, as you said earlier, Hawkeye playing defensive end in this four-man front right now, five-man front that the Ramblers are using against this full house backfield of the Aggies. Here's a pitch to the outside. This is Berryhill, and Berryhill nowhere going as the Ramblers again gang tackling right now. They're just pinning their ears back, Hawkeye, and coming hard. They just don't really fear the passing game of the Aggies, and they are coming after him on the ground.
Yeah, and he got helicoptered on that one on the Logan Vandenboss hit. But big shout out to Caden McGillis, who was able to seal that edge and not let the sweep take place and brought him back to the posse, who decided to clean it up.
6:50 and ticking to go in this one, 20-0 McBain.
All right, so after the iPad
As the Aggies come out with trips to the left. Berryhill and Small amidst those three. Matthews is the other receiver. Ryan Pace trying to indicate something to his defense. Chillman wants to throw. Seelan goes right by him. Now Chillman running back to his right. We got a flag throwing, and this is going to go out of bounds. Camp House was in the area. Got a flag in the backfield, which is oftentimes against the offense in that situation, but we will see. In any case, it's going to be it is a hold against the Aggies, and I would assume that they will decline this penalty, and we're looking at 4th down.
I think they're taking it because he's at the flag.
Well, do you want the 3rd and country mile, or do you want the 4th and 12 and the likely? I mean, they're going to go for it with 6:24 to go, but is that your thinking?
The way your defense is going?
They're declining it. Well, that's what I'm thinking. The way your defense is playing, decline the penalty. Make it 4th down and make them go 11.
Are you ready for this Pizza Plus update of the Manton?
I'm not sure why they just moved the flag back, or they just moved the marker back to the flag. Why'd they do that?
That I don't know. It was an incomplete pass. It should be
right there. Yes. Okay. That was odd.
Anyways, Pine River going up on a 38-yard field goal.
What?
Pine River just knocked in a 38-yard field goal to go up 26-14 on Manton.
And that's outside in this weather. That's impressive. So here we go, 4th and 11. Chillman is back to punt, but I'd be surprised if we'd actually see one with a 20-0 score and 6:24 remaining. Ramblers coming after it. Chillman will kick a low punt that Gavin Seeland will stay away from, and this is going to roll inside the 30 and be down at the 29-yard line of McBain, but we've got a flag on the sideline here. The near sideline by the line judge.
I think that's going to be against the Beal City bench.
They've already had one warning right at the beginning of the game as that line judge goes out to talk to the referee. Right now it would be McBain ball at the 29-yard line of the Ramblers. And the call is another sideline warning, so that's a penalty now. I don't know what the yardage is on something like that, but so that'll give the Ramblers 5 yards. So it'll take them up to a 35-yard line, and that's where McBain will take over.
But I think if it happens again, it's going to be a 10 and then a 15.
Is it just people leaving the box, getting too close to the field? I don't know what the...
I think it's against the coaches getting too much on the field.
Seelan? No, it's not. Daniel Rodenbaugh, quarterback. Daniel Rodenbaugh making a man miss, but we got a flag in the backfield as he gets over the 40-yard line, but I think we're going to get a hold on the Ramblers in all likelihood. And that is exactly what we have. Flag is back at the 32-yard line, so that will send the Ramblers back to about the 22, and we're going to be looking at it. A 1st and just under a country mile in this situation. No, over a country mile in this situation.
And for those who need translation, anything over 20 yards is considered a country mile for a 1st down.
6:07 remaining in this one as McBain looking to put the finishing touches on their 4th consecutive win. Daniel Rodenbaugh following Van Boss, picking his way through the middle as they did mark it back at around the 22-yard line. Takes it up to the 28-yard line. 6-yard pickup, and it'll make it second and around 26 or so. Need to get to the 45. Ball marked around the 28. We'll say 20. Second and 17, excuse me. We are now officially inside a country mile. 5.5 and ticking to go. The Ramblers just want to stay in bounds and keep burning clock here. Trips to the right for Rodenbaugh. Keep saying Seelan. Seelan now. Night is done on the sideline. Daniel Rodenbaugh running all the way, and that was sniffed out, obviously. Jackson Gross saying, you know what? I know Daniel Rodenbaugh, who has basically run the ball every time he's been out at quarterback, is probably going to run this ball.
Yeah, exactly.
And he runs him down. That's somebody paying attention. Tackled him in the backfield. Ball will be marked at around the 24-yard line, loss of 4, so it'll make it third and about 20 now. Make it 21 for McBain. Rodenbaugh again in the backfield with Vandenbos. 2 receivers split either way. Daniel Rodenbaugh, you'll be shocked to know, will run this ball to the left side. Trying to reverse field, does, and he will be dragged down back inside the 20-yard line. But the Ramblers do what they largely wanted to do, and that was keep the ball in bounds, keep this clock running. And by the time the Aggies get the ball back, it will be inside 4 minutes to go. You're absolutely right. And with a boot like Noah Hendrickson, it makes some sense. Ball marked at the 22-yard line.
You know, I hate to say this, but the way this game's being called and as tight as it's being called, I would do a quick boot and fall down.
Rodenbaugh gets off a nice one. This is going to take a Rambler bounce, and it's going to be picked up off the bounce by Jack Schaefer, and Schaefer is buried after crossing midfield. And that's where the Aggies will take over. The clock is not their friend right now. 3:42 remaining in this one, but they've got a first down in McBain territory at the 49-yard line.
Big tackle on that one by Austin Abbott, who was one of the gunners, and he got down there and was able to cut him in half.
Don't forget, the AMP Wireless post-game show will be coming up. We'll have all your post-game awards where we put Hawkeye under pressure to name everybody. And hopefully we'll be talking about a 4th consecutive Rambler win as Chillman hands it off to Berryhill, and Berryhill, without much room to run, will run straight out of bounds into his own bench. Might have got back to the line of scrimmage. He does stop the clock with 3:37 to go, but doesn't pick up any yards. It'll be 2nd and 10. Actually lost a yard. Yeah, they're going to mark this back at midfield.
2nd and 10, Beal City. So awesome.
Still 20-0. McBain with the lead. The Rambler defense, really the story of this game, Hawkeye, forcing a couple of early turnovers and getting 2 huge stops.
And it looks like that Maloney is now sealing off the field for the last time.
Chillman rolling to his right, wants to throw. And, oh my goodness, caught. Are you kidding me? Logan Rodenbaugh had that ball in his hands, but he never got his hands around it, and it ended up bouncing right to Chase Maxson, who brings it in, and the Aggies pick up an improbable first down at the 32-yard line of McBain. Boy, it's tough to tell Logan Rodenbaugh that he should have just batted that to the ground, but because he felt he had the interception, but instead it's a first down Beal City at the 31 of McBain.
Josh Hart playing safety now for the McBain Ramblers. Chubby's out there calling the signals, as well as Daniel Maloney checking into the game.
Full house backfield behind Chillman. Chillman will hand it off to Matthews. Matthews trying the right side of the line, picking his way across the 30-yard line up to about the 28, gain of 4. It'll bring up 2nd and 6 as the clock continues to tick. 2:50 to go. I believe Beal City has all 3 timeouts remaining. They do.
Maloney just checking into the game. Daniel Maloney making the tackle on that one. I always get confused because there's a Daniel Maloney and a Daniel Rodenbaugh, and then there's a Logan Rodenbaugh, and it's kind of like the 3 degrees of separation.
Gotcha. Seth Schaefer lining up as the far receiver to the far side. 4 receivers for Chillman under center with 1 tailback. Chillman will give it to that tailback straight up the middle with some room to run over the 25, close to the 20-yard line is Jace Pung. And Pung will take it up to about the 22-yard line, and I believe he may have a first down. He does. They will move the chains.
Another big tackle by Caden McGillis on that one. Seems like Caden McGillis is having a little bit of a coming out party tonight, defensively.
As we hit the 2-minute mark remaining in this one, Chillman comes to the line of scrimmage, 2 backs behind him, 1 receiver split either way. Chillman looking to pass, throwing left into the flat, has Small through the hands, and Justin Camphouse, or excuse me, Daniel Rodenbaugh, sorry, 20, not 22. Daniel Rodenbaugh doing exactly what you should do. Didn't try to catch that ball, just simply batted it to the turf.
Yeah, but he batted it right off of Trey Small.
It's fair, but it is incomplete. 2nd and 10 now, minute 46 remaining in the game. Still 20-0 McBain. Full house backfield for the Aggies, going right to left.
So 3 backs.
Logan Chillman, the junior quarterback, will hand it off. This is Berryhill, and Berryhill is buried. Bonico coming underneath and taking him out at the ankles and getting some help to finish him off.
Josh Hart there on the big hit to finish off that tackle.
Bonico, one of the Aggies got blocked over Berryhill and tumbled to the ground at Bonico's feet. Bonico bent down, grabbed him by the shoulder pads, and nearly threw him up off the ground to pick him up. Nice little bit of sportsmanship from those opponents. Minute 10 remaining in this one as the Aggies come out with 4 receivers again. This time Chillman in the shotgun. From the 22, Chillman looking left, now rolling to his right. Chillman directing traffic. He'll throw into the end zone through the hands of Garrett Verberkmos, but then falls incomplete. Verberkmos could have ended the game for certain there. He can't even use the excuse that he's a DB. He doesn't have good hands.
Well, he's not wearing gloves. That's the problem.
Oh, that's the issue. Okay.
Jacob Bovin checks in the game, giving Daniel Maloney a little bit of a blow. This is the game play right now.
4th and 11, 56 seconds remaining in the game. 20-0 McBain, looking to preserve the shutout as Chillman comes to the line with 4 receivers, single back in the shotgun. Low snap, Chillman handles it, looking to pass, stays in the pocket, throws across the middle through the hands of Schaefer, defended by Verberkmos, and that is going to do it. The turnover on downs will give the ball to Beal City. And we are looking at victory formation for the Ramblers with 51 seconds remaining.
They played well today. They really did.
Yeah, really go low. Defensive teams, a few key turnovers, but two fumbles,
Well, the Ramblers, Hawkeye, going to pick up back-to-back wins over the Aggies. I got to check. I got to think it's been a while. But a great job by the Rambler defense tonight. If I was forced to do the Hawkeye player of the game, I'd just give it to that whole side of the ball. But sometimes you zig and sometimes you zag. I never know.
Sebastian Matson checks in the game for the Ramblers. Our Troy Polamalu impersonation on the near side.
One knee, one more knee coming up. And that should be the final knee as the clock will head to zeros. The McBain Ramblers move to 5-2 on the season. 4th straight victory after a 1-2 start with a 20-0 win here in Beal City. We'll bring Hawkeye a tissue because he's emotional about this one. And we'll take a break. We'll have our post-game, the AMP Wireless post-game and post-game awards, stats, and thoughts coming up right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Providing great service and quality to our customers, LC Materials is here for you and all your concrete and aggregate needs, both residential and commercial projects. We can assist you in estimates, sand and gravel needs, project details, and on-time delivery. LC Materials is also in Cadillac at the Concrete Store. The Concrete Store has building supplies, stone, block, tools, and other accessories to help you finish your project. So when you're ready, call LC Materials. We're ready when you are, online at lcmaterials.net.
Crandall Precision is your start-to-finish custom machine shop specializing in custom machine components and repair work with no minimum quantity limit. Need a special part you're having a hard time finding? Bring it to Crandall Precision and see what they can do for you. Crandall Precision has been offering fast, high-quality work for over 35 years, and they are committed to continuing that for years to come. Call Crandall Precision at 231-775-7101. That's 231-775-7101. Or you can reach them by email at crandallprecision@gmail.com. Crandall Precision, high-quality custom machine parts for any project, big or small.
The harsh northern Michigan winter is right around the corner, and that's why you need to heat your house with Holton's LP Gas. Call them today at 231-839-4600. You can contact the office for specials today. And if you're a new customer, they have specials for you as well. Holton's LP Gas has been in Lake City for 30 years, and don't worry, they service the entire listening area. They've got 24/7 live, trained professionals. Holton's LP Gas is a proud sponsor of McBain Athletics.
McBain Rural Agricultural Schools offers a quality, well-rounded education for the whole child. McBain students have a technological head start from the beginning with their own issued MacBook or iPad. Rambler students are immersed in strong curriculum, including access to a large variety of vocational programs, a winning athletics program, and access to a new state-of-the-art performing arts center. Challenging competitive times require a challenging competitive education. Give your child the McBain advantage. McBain Rural Agricultural Schools.
High school students are training for the jobs of tomorrow today at the Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center in Cadillac. Juniors and seniors from 12 area high schools can choose from 14 career-driven programs. Free college credit is available. Visit WMISD.org and click or tap the Career Technical Education link. See all the great programs, then talk to your student's counselor. Call 876-2200. The Wexford-Missaukee Career Technical Center on 13th Street across from Baker College. Proud to serve the students of McBain High School. CTC is the place to be.
And welcome back to Beal City High School. Jay Simon, Gary Hawkeye Vanna with you. Zach Wiggins turning the dials for us back in the studio. 20-0, your final here in Beal City. The McBain Ramblers, with their fourth straight victory, move to 5-2 on the season and stay a game back of the Lake City Trojans in the Highland Conference, although that's over with now. Lake City, with the win tonight, has wrapped it up. So the Ramblers locking up second in the conference play as Lake City stays unbeaten with the big win at home against Everett on homecoming night. Tonight, McBain plays spoiler homecoming night for the Aggies as the Ramblers win it 20-0. We'll run down the scoring for you. There wasn't a whole lot, but this was more about the defense anyway. The Ramblers got an interception from Cole Seeland and turned that into 6 points as Logan Vandenboss ran it in from 3 yards out. Daniel Rodenbaugh with the 2-point conversion to make it 8-0 midway through the first quarter. Following a Beal City fumble, the Ramblers scored on the first play of the second quarter. Vandenboss again with a 3-yard touchdown run. The 2-point conversion failed, and it was 14-0 McBain. Ramblers forced turnover on downs, a punt, and another turnover on downs against the Aggies, including a big stop late in that first half after Ramblers had turned it over on a fumble. Aggies had first down at the 14-yard line. The Ramblers forced them to go backwards and stopped them on downs before the half. That stop was big, but it was not as big as the one they'd get later after the two teams traded punts to start the third quarter. The Aggies went from their own 30-yard line on a 16-play drive and had first down from the 7-yard line, needed to get to the 3 to convert, or a touchdown, obviously. Got as close as the 4. Penalty took them back to the 9. And then Cole Seeland and friends stopped Logan Chillman from getting into the end zone and getting to the first down marker at the 6, which gave the Ramblers the ball back with 10:43 to go in the game. And then McBain from their own 6 put together a beautiful 11-play drive, punctuated by a gorgeous 32-yard pass and catch from Seeland to Justin Camphouse over the shoulder down the middle of the field for a huge first down at the 35-yard line. Cole Seelan would run it in from 3 yards out. 2-point pass was no good. And that was your final, 20-0, as the Rambler defense, Hawkeye, my unofficial player of the game, is just really Ryan Pace and that defense. They look great tonight.
Yeah, that was really the calling card from the McBain Ramblers. Their offense runs off of their defense, and you saw that in spades tonight as the big stop for McBain kept the ball going for the Ramblers, and it was just a fantastic overall performance. They bent a bunch, they bent some. There's times they didn't bend at all, but they were able to keep the Beal City Aggies on homecoming night out of their own or out of the end zone all night long.
Gavin Seelan leads the Ramblers with 49 yards on the ground on 18 rushes, but it was through the air where he did some damage. 5 of 7 passing for 114 yards. Completed a couple of balls to Garrett Verberkmos for 49 yards, 2 to Camphouse for 47 yards, and found Logan Rodenbaugh on another pass play for 8. The defensive side of the ball, Justin Camphouse leading the Ramblers. Well, that's 14 tackles?
Yeah.
9 assists, 5 tackles. Yeah, so Camphouse leading the way with 14 tackles. Verberkmos with 12. Owen Bonico with 10. Logan Vandenbos with 12. Caden McGillis with 9. As the Ramblers did a great job on the defensive side of the ball, forced 2 turnovers, but got 2 huge stops on downs to stop the Aggies and get a rare shutout here in Beal City, as they hold the Aggies to just 101 yards rushing and 11 yards through the air, and got that 1 interception, held them to just 136 total yards. A wet night, not a lot of offense from either team, but McBain gets the job done with the 20-0 win. This is the AMP Wireless post-game show. Got some post-game awards to quickly hand out. First and foremost, we're going to go with the Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect Play of the Game. Got a lot of opportunities for that one, Hawkeye. Some of them on the defensive side, some of them on the offensive side. There were some great plays on both sides of the ball. What you got?
Well, I am going to have to go early fourth quarter, under the shadow of the goalpost, and the Beal City's got the ears pinned back, going after you, and the gutsy call and execution, 32-yard pass up the middle from Gavin Seelan to Justin Camphouse, over the shoulder, Willie Mays style, to get the big first down and get the jump start on the final drive, the final scoring drive.
I like it. The Justin Camphouse catch on the big third down from the shadow of their goalpost for 32 yards to give them the first down that eventually led to the touchdown that sealed it for the Ramblers. Is your Judy K. Gildy Photography Picture Perfect Play of the Game. One of my favorite awards, the George Johnson All Heart Award, given in honor and memory of George Johnson, the all-time greatest Rambler fan ever, and helped with the basketball team. We lost him last fall, but his memory lives on. In this particular award given to the young man who most exemplifies George's spirit in playing out there. Who you got, Hawkeye?
I am going to give it out to the coming out party tonight, and that's going to be Caden McGillis. Caden McGillis actually had the big touchdown saving tackle in the first half, which could have completely changed the complexion of this game. Made some strong plays at defensive end. Played very smart plays where even he was not in the tackle, he made sure to keep his position and turn the ball back towards his mates, his posse, his boys, to actually contain any outside runs.
All right, moving to the interior, we need the Hutting Electric lineman of the game. And again, a lot of choices here. Several players in double digits in tackles on the game tonight. You got the forced fumble. You've got the pressure in the backfield that they had all night long. Who you got there?
I am going to give that to our most obvious or most frequent winner, and that's going to be Owen Bonico as our Huntington Electric lineman of the game.
That's a repeat winner, is it not?
Many times.
Many times.
Only times he doesn't win him when he get the Taylor Mechanical Hawkeye Player of the Game.
That's the only one that he doesn't. Well, as mentioned, McBain moves to 5-2, just a game away from automatically qualifying for the playoffs, but they're looking for more than that. They'd love to get some playoff points and a high seed, maybe a second seed in a district, and avoid Lake City in the opening round, because you just know those two teams are going to end up in the same district depending on how things shake out. And I'm sure the Ramblers would love to avoid seeing them until a district title game. That brings us to the most exciting 15 seconds in all of broadcasting. That is the Taylor Mechanical Hawkeye Player of the Game. You've waited all this time for it. Anxiously awaiting to see who it's going to be. Lots of choices on both sides of the ball, Hawkeye, but that's why we pay you the big bucks. What you got?
Well, Gavin Seelan did a fantastic job. Big passes in clutch time. He was able to make the last scoring touchdown, but he ain't getting it. Because there's only one way that makes this engine run, and that's your defensive line. And they deserve the loving tonight. It goes to Skolten, Bonico, Rose, McGillis, Altman, Bam Bam, and Vandenboss. Your defensive line is your Hawkeye player of the game.
Well, you kind of zigged when I thought you'd zag. That's basically what I thought you would do, and it's well-deserved. The defensive line of the Ramblers, your Taylor Mechanical Hawkeye player of the game. That's going to do it for us from Beal City High School. 20-0, your final. The Ramblers, with their fourth straight victory, moved to 5-2. For our producer and engineer, Zach Wiggins, for Gary Hawkeye Vanna, I'm Jay Simon. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, folks. We'll be back next week when Gary takes the play-by-play stick again, and the Ramblers head south to take on Lakeview right here on your exclusive home for Rambler Athletics, your #1 hit music station, 107.9 CDY.
Good night, boys.
This McBain Rambler broadcast on 107.9 CDY and 107.9CDY.com has been sponsored by McBain Hardware, Holton's LP Gas, Northern Trucking, Falmouth Co-op, the Wexford Misaki Career Technical Center, Crandall Precision, High Flow Performance, Kelly's Pizza and Grill, Amp Wireless and Pluger Mechanical, McBain Family Pharmacy, Burkholder Family Funeral Home, McNally's Party Store, LC Materials, McBain Auto Service, McBain Rural Agricultural Schools, High Point Cadillac GMC, Judy K. Gildy Photography, Taylor Mechanical, and our streaming sponsor, McLean Transmission. Thanks for listening to this McBain Rambler Sports broadcast on 107.9 CDY.